You've got this brilliant idea for a video podcast, right? But then reality hits. The thought of setting up all the cameras, the lights, the mics. You're not alone. So many of us want that professional look right out of the gate, but it just feels so complicated. Well, let's dive into a solution that's totally changing the game, especially for beginners. Man, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? To stand out today, you really need to look and sound sharp. People's expectations are just higher now. And that setup in your spare room, with the weird lighting and the echoey sound, it just doesn't cut it anymore. So how in the world are you supposed to compete? All right, here's what we're going to cover in this explainer. First, we'll talk about something called the creator's production gap. Then we'll introduce the Micro Video Lab as the answer. We're going to see exactly how it tears down the barriers, walk through its super simple turnkey workflow, and then we'll look at what this all means for the future of creating content. Okay, let's start with that gap. This is that super frustrating place between the amazing professional content you see in your head and the reality of what most of us have to work with when we're just starting out. And trust me, the barriers to entry are very, very real. The first barrier, it's a big one. Money. A pro-level setup, and we're talking the whole shebang. Multiple cameras, lenses, good mics, proper lighting, soundproofing, that can easily cost you $10,000 or more. For anyone just getting started, it's pretty much a non-starter. So on one hand, you have the professional ideal. It needs that huge budget, sure, but it also demands a ton of technical know-how and a dedicated space. And on the other hand, you've got the beginner's reality. That usually means a messy background, bad audio, and just spending hours trying to get everything set up before you can even think about hitting record. It's a battle you have to fight every single time. But what if you could just skip that battle entirely? That is exactly where the Micro Video Lab comes in. It's a whole new way of thinking about content creation designed to solve these exact problems. We're moving from the problem to a really, really smart solution. You have to reframe how you think about a studio. This isn't just a room with gear. Think of it as your outsourced content department that handles all the tech stuff for you. Or it's like a high-tech fast lane to get your voice out there without all the friction. And I love this last one. It's the Voxel, like the basic building block you need for a killer digital presence. So you're probably asking, okay, how does it actually do all that? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. This is the micro breakdown, where we see how every little feature is specifically designed to solve a beginner's biggest headaches. First up, the micro footprint. This is the direct answer to that messy bedroom problem. It's a purpose-built space that's been sound-treated. So what does that mean? It means no more distracting stuff in the background, and, this is crucial, no more echoes or street noise messing up your audio. You get that crisp, clean, professional sound from the second you start talking. Now this is a lifesaver for beginners. The micro turnaround. The lab is built for something called live-to-tape recording. Basically, it means everything is so clean and well-produced during the recording that you need to do almost no editing afterwards. For anyone who dreads getting lost in complicated editing software for hours on end, this is an absolute game changer. And finally, it's micro-content focused. Look, a lot of old-school studios were built for movies or TV from a different era. This is built for right now. It's already optimized for the vertical 9:16 format you need for TikTok and Reels and the horizontal 16:9 for stuff like YouTube. It's made for the kind of content that you, a modern creator, are actually trying to make. So we've seen the features, right? But let's talk about the actual experience. What does it feel like? This is all about the workflow and how it completely transforms the process from a technical headache into a purely creative one. Just imagine that. The magic word here is turnkey. What this means for a beginner is that all the hardest parts are already done. That perfect, flattering lighting, the amazing mics that make you sound crystal clear, it's all set up and dialed in by experts before you even walk through the door. That massive, steep learning curve, it's just gone. And the entire process really boils down to this beautifully simple sequence. Step 1, you walk in with nothing but your idea. Step 2, you hit one button to record and you can focus 100% on your message. Step 3, you're done and you walk out with your files. That's it. All that frustrating setup and teardown time, poof, gone. And the result of that simple 3-step process isn't some amateur video. No, it's broadcast quality 4K content. You get a completely professional final product without ever having to become a production expert yourself. The lab handles the how, so you can finally put all of your energy into the what. So let's zoom out for a second to the big picture. What does this all mean? Well, this is more than just a new type of studio. It's a fundamental shift in who gets to make high-quality content. It's all about leveling the playing field. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures what you get. You're getting the absolute best of both worlds, that perfect, intimate sound of a pro recording booth combined with the polished, powerful look of a TV set. And the best part is, now this level of quality is actually accessible to everyone, not just people with huge budgets. You know, if there's one thing to take away from this, it's this. The Micro Video Lab isn't really about the gear or the room. It's about demolition. It's about tearing down those massive walls, the technical walls, the financial walls, the time-sucking walls that stand between the great idea in your head and getting it out to your audience. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Imagine for a second that all the energy you spend fighting with technology, what if you could pour all of that directly into your creativity, into your message? What stories would you tell? What would you teach? What could you really create if there was absolutely nothing holding you back?